A small nation with big dreams at the Olympic Games. Since its first appearance in 1948, Singapore has won 5 medals across 3 sports. With more action coming up in the next 2 weeks, CNA's Alif Amsyar traces some of the country's major Olympic milestones since its first medal in 1960.
We begin in Rome when Tan Hao Liang carved history by bringing home the country's first Olympic medal, a weightlifting silver in the lightweight category. But the wait for another shiny medal was a long one. Table tennis player Li Tiawei came close at the 2004 Games in Athens, where she lost in the singles bronze medal playoff. Redemption came 4 years later. Li, together with Feng Tianwei and Wang Yuegu, fought hard to clinch a silver in the women's team event. It was then double joy for Singapore at the 2012 London Olympics. The same trio won a bronze in the team's event, while Feng won her second medal at the Games in the women's singles. It's at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro where Majula Singapura rang out for the first time on the Olympic stage. In the 100-meter butterfly, swimmer Joseph Skulik not only set a new Games record, clocking a time of 50.39 seconds, but he also did it in style, beating legendary American swimmer Michael Phelps along the way.
Our reporter Alif Amsyar is in Paris for the Olympic Games, and he tells us how the French are gearing up for this Friday's historic opening ceremony.
Here under the shadows of France's iconic landmark is where Olympic history will be written on Friday evening. It will be the first opening ceremony held outside the stadium, which will see the French capital transform into a vibrant theatre, celebrating the country's culture and colours in full display. Central to this 3-hour spectacle, the city's main water artery, the Seine. Some 100 boats ferrying about 10,500 athletes will float along the river during the parade. You'll get to see the athletes up close thanks to cameras set up on the decks. The quays will become spectator stands for hundreds of thousands who'll get the best views in the house, set against the famous Parisian landmarks under the golden glow of sunset. For those who couldn't get their hands on tickets, they can catch all the action on giant screens across the city. 1.5 billion people from around the world are also set to tune in. While much of the show remain under wraps, we know that the night's proceedings will ultimately climax here at the Trocadero, and that is where official ceremonies will be carried out before the Olympic cauldron comes to life once more. One thing's for sure, the much-anticipated opener promises to be all things ambitious, historic and spectacular if the French can pull it off. Alif Amsyar, CNA, Paris.